The weekend at Ibrox brought a familiar mix of satisfaction and realism for Rangers supporters. A three-goal victory over Dundee looks emphatic on paper, and in football results always matter first, but anyone watching closely knows the performance itself was not flawless. Even so, wins like this are exactly what title challenges need, especially at this stage of the season. 8 consecutive victories is not something that can be dismissed, regardless of how the matches unfold. And that consistency is quietly becoming, one of Rangers' biggest strengths. What made the weekend even sweeter was what happened elsewhere. Dropped points for teams around the top of the table reshaped the picture just enough to remind everyone that this title race is far from settled. Rangers did their job, applied pressure, and suddenly the gap looks a little more manageable. There is a growing sense that momentum, which felt elusive earlier in the campaign, is now slowly swinging back in the right direction. When you keep winning domestically, even without being spectacular every week, belief starts to spread through the squad and the stands alike. Attention now turns quickly to the next challenge, and the schedule offers no real breathing space. European football always carries prestige, history, and financial importance. But there is an understanding among the support that priorities must be clear. The feeling around the club is that maintaining domestic momentum is absolutely vital. Trips away from home, particularly to difficult grounds, have the potential to define seasons, and Rangers cannot afford any slip in focus. The winning habit that has been built over recent weeks needs to be protected at all costs. Still, there is value in taking confidence into every competition. Going away to face strong opposition on the continent is never simple, but matches like these test the mentality of a group. Keeping that winning feeling alive even outside the league feeds into the wider belief that this team is capable of handling pressure in different environments. Rangers have spoken a lot about standards and mentality, and nights like these are where those words are either proven or exposed. Alongside the action on the pitch, the January transfer window continues to dominate conversation among supporters. Whenever talk of a so-called wow signing emerges, imagination naturally takes over. Fans start connecting dots, revisiting past successes, and dreaming of marquee names walking through the doors at Arkenhowie. History shows that big reputations do not always guarantee success in Scottish football, but ambition is something the Rangers support will always demand. The coming weeks feel decisive, not just in terms of names, but in terms of what message the club sends about the remainder of the season. While speculation swirls around potential arrivals, one development closer to home has quietly lifted spirits. Too often in Scottish football, promising young players are lost before they ever truly get the chance to shine at senior level. Bigger leagues come calling, modest offers are accepted, and supporters are left wondering what might have been. At this time, however, the signs point in a different direction. A highly rated academy talent appears ready to commit his future to Rangers, and that alone feels significant. Kyle Glasgow has been attracting attention for all the right reasons. His performances at youth level have not gone unnoticed, and there has been an increasing sense that he possesses both the technical quality and the mindset needed to progress. What stands out most is not just his ability on the ball, but his attitude. Hearing a young player speak with genuine attachment to the club, referencing years spent developing within the system, resonates deeply with supporters who value loyalty and identity. There is something refreshing about a prospect who talks about Rangers not as a stepping stone, but as the destination, From the development centre as a small child through the academy ranks, his journey reflects exactly what the club wants its pathway to represent: hard work, patience, and belief in the badge. For a fan base that takes enormous pride in its youth system, moments like this restore faith that long-term planning can still pay off. Of course, committing to the club is only the beginning. The challenge now is ensuring that talents like Glasgow are nurtured properly, protected from unnecessary pressure, and given genuine opportunities to develop. Supporters will always call for youth to be given a chance, but the balance between development and expectation is delicate. What matters most is that the player himself seems grounded, focused, and determined to keep progressing rather than getting carried away by early praise. This positive news around the academy sits alongside ongoing work to strengthen the first team. Rangers have already moved in the market, adding depth and quality in key areas, but it is clear the manager sees the midfield as an area that still needs attention. Injuries and form have exposed a lack of leadership at times, particularly in matches where control and composure are required. Addressing that issue before the window closes feels like a priority rather than a luxury. One name continues to surface in discussions, and the situation surrounding him grows more intriguing by the day. A midfielder with proven leadership credentials, experience of pressure, and a reputation for consistency is exactly the profile Rangers appear to be targeting. Despite being in his mid-20s, he has already captained a side through a demanding campaign and understands what it means to perform week after week with expectations on his shoulders. His current circumstances make the situation even more compelling. Reduced involvement, despite past importance, has inevitably led to questions about his future. For Rangers, this represents opportunity. A player hungry to play, eager to lead, and motivated to remind everyone of his value can often make the biggest impact. Timing is everything in football, and January windows often reward decisiveness. Negotiations, however, are rarely straightforward. Contracts, valuations, and competing interest all complicate matters, especially when English clubs are monitoring closely. Rangers know that waiting carries risk, but acting too hastily also has consequences. What is clear is that the profile of player being targeted aligns closely with what the squad currently lacks. Someone comfortable organizing those around him, demanding standards and setting the tempo in tight matches. As the days tick down, pressure builds behind the scenes. Every decision made now could influence the title race in subtle but decisive ways. Depth, leadership, and mentality often separate champions from challengers, particularly when fixtures pile up and margins shrink. Rangers are positioning themselves to stay in that fight, both through results on the pitch and careful moves off it, with the sense that the coming weeks could shape the direction of the season in ways that only become clear much later. As discussions continue behind closed doors, the situation in midfield feels increasingly central to everything Rangers are trying to achieve over the next few months. The title race is tightening, performances are being scrutinized more closely, and the margins for error are becoming smaller with every passing fixture. In that context, the pursuit of an experienced, composed midfielder is not just about squad depth, but about changing the rhythm and authority Rangers can impose during decisive moments of matches. The player under consideration brings a profile that naturally attracts attention. Leadership is not something you can easily manufacture, and it is often revealed only in demanding circumstances. Captaining a side through a promotion campaign, handling pressure from supporters, and setting standards in the dressing room are experiences that shape footballers in ways statistics never fully capture. Rangers have at times looked short of that commanding presence when games become chaotic, and that has not gone unnoticed internally. What makes this potential move particularly interesting is the contrast between past influence and current status. A footballer who was once central to his team's identity now finds himself watching from the sidelines more often than he would like. That shift can be destabilizing, but it can also sharpen focus. Players in that position often feel they have something to prove, and when channeled correctly, that motivation can lift an entire squad. From Rangers' perspective, there is an understanding that this is not merely about technical ability. The Scottish Premiership demands resilience, concentration, and emotional control, especially in fixtures where opponents sit deep and attempt to frustrate. Midfielders who can manage tempo, protect the defense, and keep teammates organized are invaluable across a long campaign. It is precisely these qualities that have been identified as essential if Rangers are to maintain their current run. Timing remains a critical factor. With the window approaching its final stages, urgency naturally increases. Waiting until the summer might reduce financial outlay, but it also risks losing momentum or allowing rivals to step in. January signings are often judged harshly, but when executed correctly, they can redefine seasons. Rangers are acutely aware that hesitation now could be costly later. At the same time, the atmosphere around the club feels more stable than it did earlier in the campaign. Consecutive wins have restored confidence, and there is a growing sense that the squad understands what is being asked of them. Players look more comfortable in their roles, and even when performances dip slightly, the collective structure has been strong enough to secure results. That foundation is crucial if any new arrival is to integrate smoothly. Supporters, meanwhile, remain both hopeful and demanding. There is appreciation for the recent run, but also an expectation that ambition must match history. Rangers fans have seen enough seasons drift away due to hesitation or half measures. The desire now is for clear intent, whether that comes through decisive transfers or continued trust in players already at the club. Every move is viewed through the lens of competing or for trophies, and the patience is often limited. The focus on leadership extends beyond any single signing. Within the squad, younger players are being asked to step up, communicate more, and take responsibility in difficult moments. This cultural shift is gradual but visible. The emergence of academy talents committing their future to the club reinforces that sense of continuity and belief in the long-term vision. It sends a message that Rangers want to build, not simply buy. Balancing youth and experience has always been a challenge, particularly in a league where expectations are relentless. Young players bring energy and fearlessness, while experienced heads provide calm and perspective. Getting that balance right often determines how teams cope when pressure peaks. Rangers appear intent on finding that equilibrium, ensuring that promising talents are supported rather than exposed. In the background, preparation for upcoming fixtures continues with intensity. Each match now carries added weight, not just in terms of points, but in terms of narrative. Winning maintains pressure on rivals, reinforces belief, and keeps the dressing room aligned. Dropping points, however, can quickly reignite doubts. That is why maintaining focus, regardless of competition, remains non-negotiable. There is also an awareness that success is rarely built on a single moment or decision. Titles are won through accumulation, through grinding out results on difficult afternoons and through making smart choices when opportunities arise. Rangers are currently doing many of the small things well, and the challenge is ensuring that standard does not slip as expectations rise. As negotiations continue and speculation grows louder, clarity will eventually arrive, whether through new arrivals, internal solutions, or a combination of both. Rangers know what is required. The ambition is evident, the direction clearer than before, and the squad increasingly aligned with the demands of the season. The coming weeks will test resolve, patience, and judgment. Every training session, every selection call, and every decision in the transfer market contributes to the bigger picture. Rangers are firmly in the conversation now, not because of noise or promises, but because of results. Sustaining that position requires discipline and belief, qualities that are being reinforced day by day as the season moves toward its most demanding phase. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to get all the exclusive news about Rangers FC. Don't overlook any details about your beloved team. It's crucial for Rangers FC fans. In a move that has sent tremors through the Scottish football community, James BISGROVE, a name more commonly associated with the quieter corners of sports commentary, has reportedly made a statement that could reshape the landscape at Rangers. While details remain scarce, sources close to the matter claim that BISGROVE has hinted at potential unrest within the club's hierarchy, sparking a whirlwind of speculation among supporters and pundits alike. According to insiders, BISGROVE's comments alluded to behind-the-scenes maneuvering that might affect both the managerial staff and player roster, though no official confirmation has emerged from Ibrox. The timing of the revelation has only added fuel to an already frenzied atmosphere. Fans have taken to social media in droves, dissecting every word and looking for clues that could indicate a seismic shift in the club's strategy. Some suggest that the remarks point towards a high-profile signing or perhaps an equally high-profile departure, while others speculate that financial or contractual tensions could be at the heart of the matter. What makes this even more intriguing is BISGROVE's reputation for discretion. He is not typically one to court controversy. This has led to wild theories in pubs and online forums from Glasgow to Aberdeen, with many convinced that the Rangers board is sitting on decisions that could reverberate well beyond the Scottish Premiership. Analysts have started to question the stability of the current squad and whether any key players might be influenced by the murmurings, while rival clubs are undoubtedly watching developments with keen interest. While the true implications remain shrouded in mystery, one thing is clear: BISGROVE's statement has ignited a storm of speculation that shows no sign of abating. Rangers supporters, who are known for their passionate loyalty, are now left to wonder what the future holds and whether the Ibrox faithful will witness a quiet shake-up or a dramatic transformation in the coming months. Until the club itself speaks, the rumours will continue to swirl, and Scottish football circles will be buzzing with theories, predictions, and the occasional heated debate. BISGROVE's revelation, enigmatic as it is, has already secured its place as one of the most talked-about whispers in recent memory, and the eyes of the footballing world remain firmly fixed on Ibrox. Greetings, fans. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as it's greatly appreciated by Rangers FC. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments section below. Until the next video, stay tuned